In the opening credits of my film sequence, I created a production company logo myself using the Serif Movie Plus software. I created a simple production logo that faded into the scene and flickered out. The actual production logo was just the two words Renegade Production. It had a gradient in grey and black, which are quite dark colours because I wanted to keep the mood quite dark and it looked quite professional. The production logo actually came in time with one of the sounds that I'd used, which was a gunshot. So it kind of sounds like the gunshot's supposed to be in with the production logo, and it comes on when it fades in. I chose the name Renegade Productions because renegade, the actual word, means to reject something or an outlaw or a rebel, which kind of relates to the topic within my film, as well as renegade meaning reject, maybe to reject conventions, which is kind of what I tried to do to make my film more unique. My production company logo was short because I didn't want it to last long, because I don't think it is very important, although you always should have a production company in there because of the codes and conventions. However, I wanted to keep it short so that the audience attention was still more on the actual film than the credits. The production logo was kept simple due to it. I wanted the focus to be on the actual film, and as well as this, it's a new company. It doesn't need to be really widely established, so it doesn't have to have a kind of professional looking graphics behind it or anything. And I do think that the actual font works quite well with the theme, as it's quite bold and it stands out quite a lot. In terms of film institutions, I researched into some during the planning and research process. I looked at various major big six companies and some independent companies as well. For my film, I think that it would be best to have an independent company, maybe with a co-production, to get it started, as it's just a new film, so maybe not a lot of people would be that interested. So I think that having an independent or a smaller company would work best, as it wouldn't have as much competition. When looking at the certain film industries, I looked at Lionsgate, Universal, Warner Bros. And Columbia Pictures. All of these had a very well established company that worked across many different countries. However, I did think that Lionsgate would work better with my kind of film. I thought it would work best as they've already produced films that target a young audience but are quite actiony, such as The Hunger Games and Divergent. The company has also got a massive broad portfolio, and it is a leader, but just a smaller company, and it's not part of the big six though, but it's still a big player in the actual film industry. Lionsgate do pride themselves on producing drama, action and thrillers, and my movie is an action thriller, so of course this film company would meet the needs of my film, and they would probably have a better understanding than some other companies, so they would know how to distribute it, where to exhibition it, and how to sell it on. I also think Lionsgate would be a good film institution to distribute my film, as they have a wide understanding of the new use of technology, and their understanding of the box office would mean that they'd know which ways people are viewing films now more. Like, they'd probably put it on the internet, which is what I want to do, because I think more people view film via streaming now than actually going to the cinema, which is shown in cinema attendance going down. I also think that for my film we could work with the film institution Film 4. I think this company would be good as it's an independent company that works on British films, which means that I would have an actual culture to relate to with my film. As well as this, they work with a variety of genres and also co-produce more, which I think would be really good as my film would be able to have more media platforms. I think that these film institutions would understand the needs of my genre, which is action thriller. I think they'd understand how to market it well and how to get it out there and have audience like it. I think having companies that have the knowledge and maybe a already strengthened secondary audience, like Lionsgate has an audience already set, like people like their films, would make people want to go watch my film more. I also think that maybe co-producing between two companies would be a good idea, as it means that I can have a more differentiated and diverse film, which I think would appeal to the industry and make my film more likeable. I think having a good production company and distribution company is really important, as the production company needs to know what they're doing, who their target audience is, and how they're going to attract them. I think that it's important that you understand the genre as well and what people actually want. So research is really important in this process. I also think that having a good distribution company helps a lot because they know how to market your film well, they know where to put it, and they know about the new ways that people are viewing film, because everything is changing technology wise, and film is advancing, so you want to be up there with the big six to get your film out there and recognised. You want to have an established film that everyone knows and everyone enjoys. You want to have it so that it attracts your target audience and it also attracts other people. So to summarise this evaluation up, I think that my film would be distributed amongst either Film 4 or Lionsgate. I think this would work well because they are small companies that have worked with other companies to produce really well known films such as Divergent. I think that Film 4 would help make my film established as British, which would give it a cultural feel. I also think that the two companies together would know how to market and distribute my film well across the box office and online technologies. I also think that co-producing would help diversify my product, and working with these companies would allow my film to be up there with one of the major film companies. I also think that these institutions have a really good knowledge on the genre that I've been filming for and how to go about selling it.